You guys, it's October 22nd. Can you believe it? We're almost through month 10 of 2020. And that means we have been in this hot mess of a year for 10 months. That's like 40 weeks, 300 days, 7,200 hours. Who's really counting? But the crazy thing is how many people have suffered through every single one of those hours. There's a pretty large population of people in the world that have suffered every single day of 2020, and it's not because of the hatred or injustice or sickness or financial crisis. They've suffered because they've been taking on all of those things without prayer. And that's right, you guessed it, tonight we're gonna talk about prayer. Seriously, Nathaniel? Again? Why do we talk about prayer so much? We get it, it's important. But do you get it? Seriously, I hope you hear this next part and internalize it, put it on your mind, put it in your heart. Prayer is the most important thing you can do in this life next to breathing. It's not something just to check off the religious to-do list. Prayer is so much more than that. But at the same time, it's so simple. It's not complicated, it's not confusing, it's clear, it's concise. Prayer is a conversation between you and your Heavenly Father. Tonight, I want to show you how simple prayer can be. First, I want you to picture this. Okay, let's say you have a friend. And if you don't, I'll be your friend. But for this, we'll just say you have a friend. You guys walk with each other to the local basketball court every day. And the court isn't close, it's a couple miles away, so it takes you a while to get there. Now imagine being with this friend for that much time every single day, just the two of you. But during that time of walking to and from the court, you only talk to him at the very beginning of the walk and at the very end. And I mean like, oh, hey man, what's up? Thanks for walking with me today. That's it. And then at the end, you say, well, see you tomorrow. Do you think your relationship with that person would go very far? Do you think a bond could be formed? Do you think that trust could be built? Do you think that you would even get to know that person very well? Well enough to know their voice in a crowd? Well, this is how we treat our prayer life with God sometimes. Because here's the deal. He said he will be with us. In Psalm 46, it says God is ever present. In Matthew 28, it says he's always with us. So our prayer life with him isn't suffering because he isn't present. No, it's actually the opposite. Our prayer life suffers because we aren't present. We spend so much time with God every day because again, he's always with us. And most of the time, all we do is thank him for our food and say goodnight to him. How can you expect to have a good relationship with him when you don't talk to him? The foundation of any good relationship is communication. You have to talk to the person to get to know them, right? After some time, you get to know them. Their voice becomes very familiar. So familiar, in fact, that you can pick it out of a noisy crowd. And that specific thing is insanely important because when life gets hard and things get loud and busy, we need to be able to know God's voice in the midst of chaos. Okay, so let me take a step back, but not physically because then the camera will go out of focus. I said I wanted to make this really simple, right? Like prayer is a conversation with God. And how can you start? It's easy for you because you don't have to start with the simple things like, hello, my name is Nathaniel, because God already knows that. But we can start with telling him how we're doing. Tell him how you're feeling and be real. Be more real than you've ever been with anyone that you know. Tell him that you're upset and why, and tell him that you're struggling. Tell him if you're super happy, if you're feeling super thankful. Thank him for everything that you can think of. Spoiler alert, we all have something to be thankful for. But wherever you are, you can start there with honesty and gratitude. Then we can ask him things. Ask him for things. Ask him for healing. Ask him for financial provision. Ask him to help us become better. And here's the thought. Ask him to develop your faith because you're really doubting this whole God prayer thing, but you want to believe it. And I know this all might seem kind of crazy to some of you because you might think that he won't respond, but he will. I promise. You might not recognize his voice immediately, but that is all a part of the process of building your relationship with him through conversation. You guys, it really can be that simple. We have to start demystifying what a relationship with God looks like. It wasn't meant to be complicated by religion. Jesus came and died to make it simple. Love God, love others. But all of that starts when we begin our personal conversations with God.